You don't keep dating the same person. You keep dating the same emotional pattern. One relationship ends because they pull away. Another ends because you get attached too quickly. Another never even becomes a relationship at all. Different people, different circumstances, same emotional experience. And if you've ever wondered, why does this keep happening to me? I think there's a much better question hiding underneath it. Most of us treat relationships like they're their own story. We analyze every breakup separately. We replay every conversation. We ask why that person acted the way they did, why that relationship failed, why that situationship consumed us. But what if all those stories are connected? What if they're all pointing toward the same thing? Not the same person, the same pattern. It honestly took me years to realize this. I thought I had a dozen different interests. Every new subject felt like it was finally going to explain everything. Healing, psychology, attachment theory, astrology, relationships, trauma, human behavior. Every few months I dive into something new because I thought I was chasing a different answer. Looking back, I don't think I was. I think I was asking one question over and over again. Why do people keep repeating emotional experiences they desperately want to stop repeating? And that question completely changed how I started looking at relationships. Because maybe every relationship isn't a separate mystery. Maybe every relationship is another clue, another expression of the same emotional blueprint you've been carrying all along. And that's why someone can swear they'll never date that type again, and 6 months later find themselves in the exact same emotional dynamic, just with a different face. And that's actually the idea that became the first layer of the relationship framework I've been building. I call it emotional wiring. Emotional wiring is the blueprint you bring into a relationship before another person ever walks into the room. It includes the ways you learn to give and receive love, what feels emotionally familiar, what your nervous system interprets as safe, what you chase, what you avoid, and even the kinds of dynamics you unconsciously create. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's repeating what it learned was safe. And that's where people get stuck, because what feels familiar isn't always what's healthy. Your nervous system isn't asking, is this relationship good for you? It's asking, have I been here before? And those are two very different questions. Think about it. Two people can date the exact same partner and have completely different relationships. One feels secure, one feels abandoned. Same person, different emotional wiring. Or maybe you've dated people who look nothing alike. Completely different personalities, different careers, different ages. But somehow they all made you feel the exact same way. That's usually the clue. The details changed, the emotional pattern didn't. This is actually one of the reasons I love astrology. Not because I think it predicts your soulmate, but because it gives us another language for seeing patterns we usually can't see. Your moon, your Venus, your Saturn, certain houses, certain aspects, they don't force your relationships to happen. They reveal the emotional themes you're most likely to keep recreating until they become conscious. That's why I always say astrology is a mirror, not a map. It doesn't tell you who you'll become. It shows you what you've been carrying all along. The goal isn't to become someone who never gets hurt. The goal is to become someone who can recognize the pattern before the pattern starts making decisions for you. Because once you can actually name it, you finally have the chance to choose something different. If this changed the way you think about your own relationships, subscribe. This is just the first layer. And over the next several videos, we're going to keep unpacking the relationship framework, one layer at a time.